Okay, perfect. And we're live. We're doing it live, baby. Look, this is what happens when you sub for 36 months. When John has the whiteboard out. There's Cranky Dog. Cranky Dog. Look, Cranky Dog, you're the first one on the board, 36 months. Oh, who's that? That's Margaret. On the road to Tiamat. Can you guys hear me? Is the audio okay? On the road, baby. Was it 34 months? I don't know why I'm writing it down. It's just a habit. Or not a habit. It's just, I got famous. Audio is fine? Perfect. I have the lav mic on my glasses, so I didn't know how it sounded. Audio is fine, and I gotta like look around the thing to see the screen that you guys are on. I don't know. Last night I was on Twitter and Instagram, and I was looking through, just normal work stuff, and I stumbled across this thing that's going on Twitter from a game designer, and it's called Dungeon 23. Does anybody know what Dungeon 23 is? Hey, Jacob Jansen. Hi, Ishan. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. We had a big ReaperCon meeting this morning, so. It is Freya. That's a good idea, though. Haven't heard of it. So you guys, so a couple of people are saying no, they haven't heard of Dungeon 23. Okay, so like I said, I was scrolling through Instagram, and I stumbled across this thing that this game designer's doing called Dungeon 23. And what's happening is every day he has a journal. He has a big journal, and every day he makes a room to a dungeon. And at the end of the year, basically, he has 365 rooms, a part of this big mega dungeon. And they're like, you can break it up in different ways. You can like make it into different levels and things like this. So Count Ulrich, yeah, you said you did hear about it. So I thought it would be fun to maybe, it started me thinking about some ideas for ReaperLand. Since this is the first ReaperLand of 2023, we can start maybe coming up with some ideas about every week doing something.
Testing audio. How about now? We hear Justin, but oh, interesting. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Don't put what? I'm trying to improve my compliance capabilities. It should work now. Is it working? Oh, let me see.
Just to see. We got some weird background noises, probably from behind. Justin, I think the show's fine like this, Kappa, Quinty said. Well, everything was working. Why'd you mess with shit? Because. Okay, we're back now. We're back now. Clip it. Clip that. That's the first clip of John Overton of 2023. Let's do it. We got John audio. We're back. Woo! I'm sweating. It's hot in here. All these lights.
Better look.
John's sweet voice. Hey, Otis. So, like I said, Dungeon 23, I thought it would be fun to do something like, since we do ReaperLand once a week on average, so if you think about it, that's like 52 weeks roughly a year. I was thinking about maybe we could do like 52 rooms or 52 clusters of rooms or 52 floors, or we can just make it up as we go. So I think that would be a fun idea to do today. Stop drinking those energy drinks? Yeah. I was doing very good for a long time, like 6 months of none of them, and then I relapsed. I should stop drinking them for sure. Just replace it with water, you know what I mean? Also, happy birthday, Dogfather. Maybe if I stop drinking them, I can live to be as old as you are. Got him.
You gotta start now.
Freya said the caffeine in those makes you hot. Yeah, me too. I'm sweating. Drink more energy drinks, see into the future. That's hilarious.
I think it does work that way.
Probably. I can probably see the grass grow in real time. You know what I mean? So, let me take my jacket off. I saw people talking about ReaperCon stuff. So we had our first ReaperCon meeting this morning, kind of like the first like real one, like the first kind of big one. There's been kind of rumblings of ReaperCon here and there, but this was the first big one this morning. So, hey, green users. I have to keep moving so I can see you guys because the TV's behind the camera, so I gotta, if your messages are long, I gotta look on both sides of the camera. Hi, Fuzzy Kitty. So, I know I was talking about Reaper Challenge League. I want to give an update on the Reaper Challenge League from this past year. Talk to you guys about how many entries we had. We had 200 participants, and we had 17,000, like 500, roughly, like 500, unique entries, like submissions. This number is a little bit skewed because sometimes people would count like duos and trios in one post and things like that, so I tried to account for some of that stuff as well. But we had 200 unique people participate in this past year, 2022, and like I said, roughly around 17,000 entries into the Reaper Challenge League. Holy cow, that's a lot of green check marks. It is. And I just wanted to kind of give an update on this next upcoming year for Reaper Challenge League. What's that in gallons of paint, Count said? I don't know. So this weekend, I'm going to message the moderators about getting the moderators' choices for the next 4 quarters, quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the next year. And I'm going to also be updating the limited paint palette colors as well, and the themes. All that stuff will be done this weekend, and I hope to post it and have it done by Monday. So all the updated stuff for the next year should be done on Monday. Today was kind of taken up by a lot of ReaperCon stuff, so I should be getting it done on Sunday, and then be able to post it on Monday for everybody. So hopefully we can have a lot of cool new themes and some cool ideas. Got some pop-ups planned for this next year as well. This next year, this past year when I was calculating all the points and like typing in all the points and everything, it was all kind of like hand done, and it was taking me a long time, and I wasn't really keeping track of like the full year of points, like how many points people got in total. But this next year, I redid the spreadsheet where I calculate all the points, and so it should be a lot easier. I did some Excel learning and come up with some shortcuts and be able to track things a lot easier and faster. So that being said, I know the points being given for Reaper Challenge League in 2022 was a little bit sporadic. So like sometimes we would go 20 days, sometimes we would go 2 months, sometimes we would go 45 days without giving points. This upcoming year, I'm going to be doing points at the end of the month. So at the end of the month, like let's use January as an example. At the very last day of January, I will go through my spreadsheet and I will have everybody's points check marked and all your points totaled, and then I will give you your points at the end of January. So you should expect big influx of points at the end of each month, January, February, March, and then quarterly as well. So all the quarterly points will be done at the end of the quarter. This, first of all, will help me keep track of like, let's say sometimes, I'm not saying anybody has done this, but let's say you did a player character for January, and then you tried to submit another player character for January, and sometimes we might have missed those if you might have accidentally done it in the past, like accidentally submitted two. But now there's going to be, good check mark and things like that, so we'll know that. And since all the points are going to be done at the end of January, or at the end of the month, we'll be able to keep track of that a lot easier. But I have it all laid out for the whole year, so now I'll be able to calculate how many total points were given. So I'll be able to do another stat here. So I could do like a total number of points that were given out. So how many people participated, how many submissions were entered, and then how many total points were earned by everybody. I think that'll be a nice big number. So yeah, the system's pretty fun. I'm working on another way to make it even more streamlined and more easy, like quicker, by using bots and things like that, to CSV uploads, yada, yada, yada. So I'm very excited. Yeah, paint the second PC and call it a monster. Very true. So what else was I going to do? Oh, so Reaper 23. So I thought it would be fun to do something like that, since we're going to do 52 weeks, and each of those weeks have 5 days. Maybe we can do like 5 rooms. And I want to talk to Chad about, like, what do you guys think? Should we do a different theme each week, like clusters of rooms, or what are you thinking? So we're going to be building a dungeon. Let's say we're going to be building a dungeon this week, and we can make like 5 rooms, and then we can fill out that room with traps or items or unique monsters or unique NPCs that are in it. But it's all going to be what you guys want, and like come up with a theme. I'm thinking we could do like a universal theme for the whole year. We can call it like ReaperLand, right? That makes sense. ReaperLand. How about ReaperLandia? 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 That sounds kind of lame, but we'll work with it. And obviously this is going to be like a fantasy dungeon or whatever. So I like the idea of doing like a different theme each week, but we might have to like reuse themes later on. Like for instance, I'm thinking like, when I say theme, I mean like this room is like plant-based, or it's like vegetation, overrun with vegetation. And then what can we do with that? Like what can those different rooms entail and have inside them and things like that? How about Dungeon of the Reaper? Maybe it's like Reaper like he's like a lich, like the Reaper's a lich, and he's like the big bad at the end of the dungeon that we have to like work down to. And what would be cool is if we can incorporate our models into these dungeons. So let's say I'm just spitballing here. I like spitballing, brainstorming. Let's say we build these dungeons like this week. Like we come up with a bunch of rooms, whatever, right? And then like we can come up with all these different rooms, and then next week we can talk about like if we put monsters in here, like our notes, like overrun with whatever, and then next week I can actually go find models and put them up that will populate these dungeons. Turns out the Lich is a miniature painter who's trying to be left alone. Different levels, towers, and dungeons. Yeah, exactly. So I think that'll be a fun idea. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. Okay, so hold on. I see some ideas in chat. So let's get the ideas rolling. Should we start on the first room? So let's come up with like a theme for the first kind of room, or the first kind of level, floor, whatever we want to call it. So Reaper. Let's say, okay. So the final boss. final boss is a Reaper, like Lich. I like that.
I agree with Cal. We actually have to start this quest formally first.
Okay. What do you mean start it?
That's what I said. First off, we need someone to start us on the quest.
Oh, okay. So should we start in like town? So we should like have like a town with like a surrounding, like where's this town located? Hey, Vacaroja, how's it going? I haven't seen you in forever. I mean, I've seen you on the Discord, but I haven't seen you in chat. Hope you're doing okay, by the way. Hope you and your new puppy are doing okay. I want it to be a nice werewolf character. Okay, so we have some ideas about werewolf characters. We're trying to find a let's work on a city, like a starting city, like where we all meet up or whatever. Probably has a green griffin. Okay. We're starting in the Green Griffin, so we can do that. The town of Moondale. I like Moondale. Actually, on the road. So, Margaret, if we were going to start in Denton, it would probably be spelled like this. You know, like Dent, and then like this. Let's make it a little bit more fantasy. You know, I like Moondale or Mondale. Moondale. I like that. I see some people saying Dentondale. That's a good one as well. Hey, David Weir. So we have Denton, we have Moondale. So we're not like going on an adventure, and we're not like building our party or anything like that. We're just kind of build like a dungeon or a level or a floor or an arc of a quest or something like that. Are you using a Christmas stocking as an eraser? No, I'm not. That's not what that is. That's not what this is at all. It's one of my socks from home that I use. Okay, so I'm liking Moondale, the city of Moondale. So, city of Moondale. Okay, I'm digging that. That's a good one. I got fat feet. Yeah. Okay, Moondale. So we're at the city of Moondale. So that's like our first kind of bullet point. And we have final boss is a Reaper. So we're gonna do our points over here. So stuff that I like. Final boss, like boss area, final boss area, Reaper / Lich. Okay. Okay. The Shire of Moondale. Kind of like that. Is it a village? Moondale was built on the ruins of an elven temple of the moon goddess. I like this so far. I like this direction. I saw somebody else say elven miniature for DPS or healer. I like that as well. We can kind of make this like an elvish city, like centric city. What do we think? Okay, so we have a quest board. I like that. So elf city, ruins, and then I see quest board. So I just thought of something as well. So as I'm writing this out, and we'll do some bullet points, and we'll do kind of a quick sketch of kind of what we're thinking. Maybe later on we can actually do like a real kind of layout instead of just a drawing. That'd be nice as well. Sewers, Thieves Guild. Okay, we have that. Burgermeister is going to be at the Green Griffin with a request for help. So we have Green Griffin. I like that. Green Griffin. Could be shield. Okay, with axe. Needs more dwarves. Okay, we'll say that. Okay, we'll put that up here. Needs more dwarves. Don't judge my handwriting. Wait, can y'all see that? It's a little small, but it should be fine. So we have the Green Griffin. I like that. So I like the quest board in the middle of town. I saw somebody say potion shop. So potion. What kind of city is this? Like, is it near the coast? Is it near a forest? What are we thinking? Like, coast, forest? Are we in the mountains? Are we mountain elves? Thoughts? Valley. Okay, so yeah, I see forest, valley, forest, crossroads. Hidden. Can be the town near the coast for a lot of influence. Yes, it has Brinewind docks. So I'm going to probably combine two of those. Can we make it a hidden valley? So maybe it's like a valley that is like, it's a little bit out of the way and nobody really knows about it. Hidden Valley, I kind of like that. Like Hidden Valley Ranch. You know what I mean? We love ranch. I like that idea of return up as well. Search for dressing. Yeah. They make trade salad dressing. So what kind of like fantasy version could we make of that? So it's like it's the Hidden Valley, but their main export is like some kind of seasoning that they use for food, on like vegetarian food. Okay, so we're in the Hidden Valley of Moondale. Yeah, Hidden Valley of Moondale. All right, main export. But the thing is, chat, is that let's just call it dressing for now, right? So they're a hidden valley, so they don't really know, like people don't know about this. They just, maybe they have some kind of secret like supply route that they supply to like the near cities, but the cities don't know that the dressing comes from this hidden valley. Let's see, Dwarven Cavern. I like this. So the dwarves have caverns. So Elven City and the dwarves have caverns, right? We'll put parentheses caverns. So they're kind of like hill dwarfs and mountain dwarfs. They kind of go in and out. Maybe farming on top of their like sides of the valley. Leads to the Tower of Flowers. Elvish dressing monks. Dwarven spice. So like the dwarven spice could be like what I eat on my salads. I eat dill. I love putting dill on my salads. Only certain herbs grow in this Hidden Valley's terrier. I like it. I like where this is going. So I like the bullet points that we have right now. So so we have the city, right? And it's in this valley. It's in this hidden valley. What is immediately surrounding this valley? There's rumors. Oh, let's start a rumors of the city. Like rumors of the city. Rumors of the city. All the adventurers will be hungry halflings. All races are united to protect the realm from the tower. I like that, 10x. Valleys are usually surrounded by hills and mountains. Yeah, that's why I chose the dwarfs have caverns, and like maybe they grow herbs and stuff on the side of the mountains. Oh, mountains full of yetis and dinosaurs, Vakaroha says. So mountains. What's the name of this mountain? Dinos and what? Dinos and yetis. Dinos and yetis. Forest, no one is supposed to enter. So Queen of Kings is suggesting that we have like a haunted forest or like a forest that's off limits. Okay, there's something there. We can probably throw that in there. So we have surrounding mountains. We have surrounding mountains, right? And then those mountains have dinosaurs and yetis in them. We need to stop an invasion from the tower gates. So there could be an invasion of the Reaper King. Kind of like that. Oh man, there's so we have the Forbidden Forest. So we have a mountain that's surrounding, right? So we have mountain, forest, hills. Let's just say hills. So that's 3. Can we do one more? Like one more surrounding kind of point of interest. Or I saw somebody suggest a tower. Maybe some kind of watchtower, or it was left over from the ruins, maybe. Transport of the dressing has been halted by mysterious creatures on their long trek down the valley. So, transport disrupted. Transport disrupted. Deadland fog. Oh, waterfall. Guys, what do we think? What do we think in waterfall? The waterfall. Okay, how about we mix these two together? We have waterfall mixed with deadland fog, or some kind of heavy fog that comes off of the waterfall, which also kind of goes into a lake from Fireforged Minis. So we kind of mix those 3 together. And then the cave entrance is behind the waterfall. Okay, let's write these down before I forget. So waterfall, and then I'm going to put parentheses caverns. So waterfall caverns. Mountain name, Freya says. She's calling it the Voiceless Rise. Waterfall needs to be a lake very foggy. The Voiceless Rise. What can we do other than the rise? What can we do? We could do like voiceless, the voice, the bluffs, the voiceless bluffs, the echoing bluffs. What's another word for or synonym for voiceless? Deaf? No. Mute? Echo Falls? Echo Falls sounds good. Hollow. Hollow Falls? The Voiceless Hollow? The Mute Bluff. Let's do that. So we'll do Mute Bluff.
Realize now the people actually couldn't hear me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hadn't switched over the internals, but now they can.
Okay. Mute Bluff. Yeah, so the unstated. So we're going to go with the Mute Bluffs right now. I like where we're going here with this. Okay, so we have all of our surrounding kind of points of interest or thoughts around the city. So let's start working out the city. So the city is in between two. It's like 2 hills, right? It's in a hidden valley, surrounded probably by Is it surrounded by a forest, or let's see. The flowing bog drains into the abyss over the Echo Falls. I like where your head's at, Zox. So maybe the fog. I'm going to write fog. So maybe the fog is how this hidden valley stays hidden. Maybe the valley is so deep that the fog that kind of goes over the top kind of covers them. Maybe that's how they stay kind of hidden. The fog kind of covers them, so they live underneath the fog. The topography of the thing. The valley traps a layer of mist. Yeah. And it's called the Moondale Mist. Yeah? Fog, Moondale Mist. And that's how the valley is kind of stayed and hidden for so many so many years. That's why it stayed hidden. That's fun. And I saw somebody talking about the reason we called it Moondale, kind of, for instance, is that it started off with werewolf. So it started off with like a werewolf type idea. And it's a nice werewolf. I wonder if the mist can like, so when the moon is out, instead of they don't get the full power because the mist kind of obscures it. It's like that sounds fun. Sounds like a good idea. I see where it's kind of going in the thing. Wandering dinosaurs. Wandering dinosaurs. Try to enter and fail. So I like that idea about the mountain/caverns with the dinosaurs and yetis. Maybe the yetis ride the dinosaurs, or like they like tame them. It's like maybe there's a city of yetis in there. City of yetis. Wandering dinosaurs, reptile humanoids. So instead of dinosaurs, you can do reptile humanoids. I guess you could still kind of call them like dino humans or like dino humanoids, like, you know. Dr. Bob, what'd you just walk into? Justin, can we get a close-up? Just so we can kind of...
I don't know, John. Can we get a close-up?
I think so. There we go. Perfect. Hey Siri. Here we go. We're on it right now. Yetis riding dinos is a win. Okay, so we have mountain. So the mountain dinos riding yetis as mounts, or like pets, and that's what lives in this cavern, right? So that I like where we're going with this. So maybe we kind of got the city kind of laid out roughly, or they're two tribes. I kind of like them being mixed together. So I think they're the dinos and yetis are like one group. They're like a city or a faction or a tribe.
We just call them the Deadies for short.
The Deadies.
The Deadies.
The Deadies. Hey, Darling Creep Show. How's it going? How's it going?
Hold on.
There we go.
Now you're actually in focus.
Yeah, I know. I was out of focus, but it's okay.
By the way, is my mic working for everyone else?
Yeah, can you guys hear Justin?
I would hope so.
Hello, John and ReaperLand. What's up?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool.
Soft.
Barely.
Always. Oh, you know what? Actually, there's a good reason for that this time.
He's fixing it.
Always soft.
That's what's his nickname in high school.
Always soft. So to speak, of course. Let me.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. How about this? Is this better? Should be better. That should. I mean, I'm also not projecting, but I am now.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Sounds like he's in the next room.
They said better.
You know what? I got to do the super secret tech. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, Dr. Bob, we haven't really come up with a name for it yet. I mean, we kind of did. So for anybody that's just joining us, I was on Twitter and Instagram yesterday, and I was just kind of scrolling through, and I came across this thing called Dungeon 23, if anybody's heard of it. It's a game designer who started this thing with his friends where he has a big journal, and every day he makes like a dungeon to like a floor of a dungeon. He makes like a room, for instance. And throughout the...
No. Damn.
You're so much bigger than me.
Don't. You really got to put it that way, John?
Well, I'm small. I'm small round is what they called me in high school.
And they called me big round, always soft.
But so every day he made a dungeon in his mega dungeon in his journal. And, obviously at the end of the year, it's 365 rooms and multiple layers and things like that. Oh, my God, Justin.
I was hoping that I was keyed out. That's why I was...
Oh, no, you weren't.
I wasn't trying to make my way on camera.
No. A rare Justin sighting, yeah. The only way that you guys can see Justin if you come to ReaperCon every year. So, there you go. No one will believe us. That's right. You can't even clip it either.
Nope. So brief.
So brief.
They also called me that in high school.
And so I thought of it, and this would be a good idea for ReaperLand. Since we do it once a week, we can kind of maybe do something every week to kind of help build out something. I don't know. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. Like we could build a dungeon, or let's say, for instance, next week we go into the mountain dinos and yetis. So we can go in there and we can kind of build out what that looks like draw it out on a map. Like what's the main areas? What's it look like? How many rooms does it have? What do the tunnels look like? How many levels? Yada, yada, yada. Right now we're just kind of getting in a good overlay. A never-ending story, if you will. Patent pending. And so, right now, we have some ideas. With somebody said calling the city Moondale. So we have Moondale, and then I asked, where was this city located? Is it like near a river? Is it near the coast? Is it in a forest? And somebody said valley. So I wrote valley there, and then somebody said hidden. So I mixed them together, and we came up with the Hidden Valley of Moondale, where their main export is Hidden Valley Ranch. And so their main export is dressing, salad dressing. Yeah, this is session 0, if you will. Yeah, they make great salad dressing. So that's their main export. But the thing is that this is a hidden valley. Nobody knows that they exist. So where do those exports come from? You know what I mean? So we got to find, later on down the road, when we start building out our city, we can come up with like where those exports are coming from and like how they get out to other cities and things like that. Yes, there is ranch. That's their main export.
Is that better, by the way?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I didn't want to turn it too far because I didn't want to mess up chords and stuff.
Remember, we have to readjust the set anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Which hopefully next ReaperLive we should see a completely new set. Mm-hmm. So
Hopefully.
Hopefully, we'll see.
And so we started discussing, like, how is this valley hidden? How is it able to remain hidden for all this time? And we came up with like kind of a mist or some kind of fog that maybe rests inside this valley that kind of covers it, and it kind of sits on top of the valley. But underneath the valley, the city kind of goes on day to day just like they normally would. This should establish a shop in the nearby city. I like that, but we got to figure out how they're going to get their goods to that city without being seen. So that's another thing we got to come up with, like So somebody suggested one of the quests that can be associated with this city is the transport is disrupted. So then we have to decide where this transport, like how the transport is disrupted and like where that is done. Tunnels in the mountains. Yes. So for anybody, I'm trying to picture this all in my mind and kind of give it. So my thinking is, chat, is that we write this all down and we do kind of a brainstorming session. And then next week, hopefully, if I have, I kind of want to use some dungeon making tools and things like that to get things actually mapped out and like put on a map. That'd be fun. That way we can look at it. Well, I can get some minis that can go with the city. We can talk about this later as well. Giant redwood canopies covers the city. The very solace from Dragonlance, I like that. Never the same route twice in a row. Nice. Okay, so we discovered that there's a waterfall nearby. So there's a waterfall, and then behind the waterfall is like a cavern. It's like a cave, and that cave goes into the mountains, and that's where the Yetis and the dinosaurs live. We haven't come up with a name for this mountain yet, but that's where the dinosaurs and Yetis live. And then nearby, so this city of Moondale, the Hidden Valley, if you will, Hidden Valley of Moondale, is primarily an elf city with a kind of a smattering of the nearby dwarves that live in the caverns and mountains, like hill dwarfs on the sides of the valleys. And these are like gardening dwarves. They like grow stuff on the side of the mountains because they use the mist. They use the mist to kind of enhance their crops and stuff like that. And then that's how they are able to make the Hidden Valley Ranch, is they use the herbs that are grown from the hill dwarfs that are nearby the valley, and then they mix it together to make the Hidden Valley Ranch. Thoughts?
Now my audio is fixed.
There you go. You sound much better in my ear.
There we go. I fixed it.
Yeah, you sound much better. The Yetis develop a taste for the sauce, which they dip their dwarf wings into. Dang, Dr. Bob, you're dark. Mushrooms inside the caverns. Okay. So we'll do that. We'll do the caverns, like cavern mushrooms. So I like this idea of the mist because the mist can enhance everything that's around it. So like how they use it for the crops nearby. They use it to cover the moon so the local werewolves don't like go crazy. It kind of absorbs them that way. Dedicated shroomy room. So shroomies. So I saw somebody say Burgermeister, right? Burgermeister, shroomy. So can anybody think of any of our other miniatures that we could use? So I particularly probably the dinos and yetis and the elf city and dwarfs. I think it'd be cool to come up with some minis that we could use. So shroomies is a good idea. Maybe is this mist magical or is it natural? Or that's a good philosophical question. Can it be both? I think so. Oh, fungal queen. Fungal queen, I see that. Are shroomies processed in the sauce? I don't think so, Dr. Bob. I think the shroomies are they're a protected species. They're to be protected. Cranky Dog, are you saying the mist is a mix of magic and fungal spores? Is that what you're trying to say? Oh, the shroomies are actually herded by the dwarves, and they poop out the spice. All right. Spice. I like it. That's where we're going. Dinos are used for transport and grabbing food for the dwarves. Okay, I like that. Shroomies are the workers for the mushrooms. So the sentient shroomies that can walk around are the ones that process the mushrooms because the mushrooms are too dangerous for the yetis and stuff to mess with. Like they're too dangerous in the caverns to be near. So they have to form an alliance or train the shroomies. Because how smart are the shroomies? Are they like pigs, like truffle pigs? Where they like smell out the truffles? Yetis are allergic to the spores. We have some good Yeti minis, right? We have some good Yeti minis. Yeti, Dino, Shroomy. So right now we're coming up with some minis for the let's do the cavern. Let's do the cavern first, right? We're doing the cavern kind of cave system. We have the Yeti shaman, we have the Yeti leader, pretty badass. We have the shroomies, we have the fungal queen, we have the mushroom men. Mushroom men. So we have the mushroom men, the raptor pack. And I know we said dinosaurs, but would we consider the fantasy dinos from, let's say, Bones 5? They could be like the humanoid dinosaurs, and then we have the non humanoid dinosaurs, like the raptor pack and things like that. Ones that they ride or use as pets or train as attack, things like that.
Like a lesser evolution type.
Yeah. Cave fishers? Oh, cave fishers, like local cave fishers. Cave fishers from Moondale.
Are these people that fish exclusively in a cave?
Yeah, cave fishers, yeah.
Yeah, cave fishers, okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
They're the local dwarves and the yetis and the elves that live nearby that come into the caves to fish for fish.
By the way, Quindy had some really valuable feedback on what we're doing today.
Yeah.
She said you reminded her of a junior youth pastor making a training video. Which I thought was very poignant.
Hey, I used to go to vacation Bible school. I know what I'm doing. Any cave needs cave fishers. That's right. Or the spores make the yetis go berserk, attacking themselves, hence the danger to all. I'm going to write down spores, just because I think we could do something with it. I just don't know what yet. Somebody mentioned the mist and the fog, is maybe a mix of the spores from the cavern. We don't know where the mist has come from yet. You could pull the Aboleth mini into the underwater sea near the mushroom fields. And he's basically kind of controlling through the fungi, like underneath, through the root system. Could use kobolds. They're kind of dinosaur-like, you know? Maybe in our Moondale, Reaperlandia, kobolds are kind of dinosaur-ish. Hey, Valandar. Welcome. Or the supply chain has to cross over the sea. Dr. Bob. So, are we on an island? Is this hidden valley on an island? That's kind of less cool, in my opinion. If we're trying to make the hidden valley, the reason that they're hidden is that they're on an island, I think that's kind of like, That's why we came up with the mist idea. So they could be near a coast. Right? And that's how they transport their stuff around the sea. Because if they come from the sea, it's kind of hard to track where those goods are coming from. Because we're trying to keep our Hidden Valley Ranch, for a lack of a better word, hidden. So, no underground. The shroom field could be under the mountain or on an island. No underground. So, Dr. Bob, you don't want underground for the shrooms, where the Yetis and dinosaurs live? So maybe the dwarves. The dwarves grow the shrooms on the side of the valley. Oh, the sea is underground. Underground sea.
Is that like a tree in the forest where if you don't see it, does it really exist? Kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of like the aboleth idea. We can add an aboleth in there. Digging claws and modified burrowing equipment. I like that. Dwarves are reputed for farming and eating mushrooms. Are reputed. Okay, so the mushrooms are grown on the side of the valley hills where the mist is covering the valley below. Okay, so let me think of this. Is there anything that lives in the mist? Are there like flying creatures that can survive in the mist? Or is there anything like bird-wise or flying-wise that might be like a predator to the mushrooms, that might like try to come and eat the mushrooms? That sounds like a great idea. Underground sea that leads to a river, and they distract everyone from their hidden valley by making people think they are coming from overseas. Sorry, the mushroom field is underground. You're confusing me, Dr. Bob. An underground island in the middle of the underground sea that has crossed the Aboleth domain. That way, you add another link in the chain that could add complications to the story. Okay. So, wild feral halflings. That's a sight to see. Mushrooms growth is prohibited by damp and gloomy conditions. Mushroom eating bats. So we think bats? A couple of matching wyverns would be cool. We need a cave entrance behind the waterfall so they can meet the boulderkin. Yeah, so we have an entrance behind the waterfall. We're trying to decide where the mushrooms are grown, and we need like a good consensus to go with. So right now we have mushrooms grown by dwarves on the side of the hill dwarfs, or the mushrooms grown on an underground island in the middle of the underground sea. Ooh, cloud giants. That sounds kind of fun.
Did we just move this whole ecosystem underground? I feel like that's what just happened.
No, it was kind of underground in the caverns to begin with, and then I had the idea of doing it on the dwarves. But okay, so I see Cranky Dog's solution here. Some mushrooms grown on the top of the hills, others underground, so two different areas. And maybe they have different properties as well. So 2 different types of mushrooms. One enhanced by the mist on the valley, on the top of the hill, and the one underneath done by the gloominess, maybe the shroomies. We gotta implore the shroomies. spice. Like shroomy farmers. We have shroomy farmers, which are the Yetis, maybe? We have shroomy farmers, which are Yetis. We start above ground, then head underground as the adventure progresses. Okay, Count Ulrich, I like that. So next week we can start in the city. So next week we can start in Moondale, right? We can start in Moondale, and then we can start working our way out. So right now we kind of have like little glimpses of what's going on around Gloomdale and kind of what's going to be in Moondale. That way next week we can kind of fully flesh out what's kind of like inside of Moondale. To farm the mushrooms, and the Yetis are the slave drivers. Dwarves enslaved by the Yetis to farm mushrooms. I think I kind of want to avoid like that. Maybe they're harmonious, like they work together. Because then if the Yetis farm the mushrooms for the dwarves, what can the dwarves give the Yetis? You know what I mean? Has to be some kind of symbiotic relationship. Triangle of trade. So the Yetis have the shroomy spice that comes from the shroomies' excrement. I don't know what word to use. Shroomy poop, the shroomy spice. No one goes to Moondale because of the fog, dinosaurs, and cloud giants. Barrels of dressing have stopped appearing at the normal spot on the coast. So people have to go to Moondale to find out what happened to the Hidden Valley Ranch. People are really digging this cloud giant idea. How about one cloud giant instead of like a village of cloud giants? So I'm going to write down cloud giant as a potential idea. Cloud giant. What's time looking like? I kind of got carried away.
It looks like numbers as always.
Okay. So we can spend a few more minutes on this. I like where we've started. I kind of love where we're started. How about this? Justin, what do you think? Every quarter we might, I don't know.
How about we do whatever we want?
That's true. I'm spitballing here. But it'd be cool to play this adventure out in a D&D campaign.
I agree.
So.
Are you talking about like the virtual one?
Yeah, anything. We could play with people from chat or what?
Who wants to DM for us?
Oh, how about it's a couple. Like it's a couple of cloud giants. They live in the mist above the clouds. I mean above the Moondale. Couple. And maybe they're exiles from their city, from their main castle far away. They're exiles, and they found this mist in this hidden valley, and they live off ranch.
Oh, God.
Yeah, maybe we could play this at ReaperCon. So, to tie in the clouds, what is Hugh? One cloud giant is the big bad behind the mist. So right now we have big bad as a reaper, like a lich or some kind of reaper. Like some kind of spirit, like an evil spirit of some kind. That's what I'm picturing in my mind.
A bogey.
A bogey. Yeah. A geist. Floating castle. To tie in the clouds for the cloud giant to live in. Okay.
We could do a floating castle.
Well, then instead of the big bad, then the progenitor of the mist. And keep the Lich Reaper as the big bad. Oh, so the cloud giants are the ones that create the mist. Because they're trying to stay hidden from they're in exile, or they're running away or something. They're trying to stay hidden. They tend to the mist. They're mist tenders. Oh! Mist tenders.
Yes, the mist tenders go really well with the ranch.
Yeah, mist tenders. The mist tendies. So,
oh boy.
I just like the idea of a mist tender, like tending the fire or like a fire tender,
It's starting to sound like the Wendy's a special of D&D one shot.
Not a sponsor. Hey, Wendy's, call us.
Yeah. Not opposed to. So
They're also his jailers. That's a good idea. The big bad's in the mist. Huh. Hey, the mist is kind of where we're starting to base everything off of now. So
Yes.
it started with Moondale, and then eventually we got all the way down here to what was surrounding the area, and we got to fog, and that led to mist. See, I like where this. Oh, should we work in a rock? Oh, let me write cloud giants over here. Cloud giants.
there's rocks all over the place in this island.
Uh,
Big rocks, little rocks, medium-sized rocks.
yeah. And cloud giants are lovers of beauty, which gives the dwarves a deity outside of a dwarven god. Do the elves and the dwarves know that the cloud giants live up above? So people seem to be digging the idea of the mist being the Lich's prison. Like he's like imprisoned in this mist. But eventually we're going to have to come up with a reason why he's kind of imprisoned. Yeah, cloud giants tend to the fog. They are also immune to lycanthropy. I do love the idea of these giants tending to the fog, or the mist fog above the city. I love this idea. Don't need to know. Maybe some know but don't care. The spice must flow. Yeah, so maybe some do, some don't. Maybe there's rumors or stories about what they've seen or what they've heard in the sky. That could be a thing. That they don't actually like know, and maybe some of them, and maybe the few that have seen them, like in their full, like if they've come down and they've seen them in the full glory, or maybe have some kind of religious experience where they think they are some kind of deity. Fortune passes everywhere. Brought to you by Sonic. Okay, Justin, can we give one more close-up of the board? Get a good green screen grab. That way we can kind of have like a good reference of what we're going to be doing. Ignore my terrible handwriting. My handwriting's awful. So next week, I'm going to probably go grab some of the models that we might be using in some of the areas and grab some pictures and things like that, and we can start building out this world. I'm also going to look at some dungeon building and map building devices throughout the week if I can, if I have time, to start kind of laying out what we're kind of building and talking about. I'm getting excited. This is actually really fun. But we got to come up with a cadence of what we're going to be doing each week for the full year. But that'll be fun. That sounds exciting. So we have the elf city named Moondale. We decided to call it the Hidden Valley Ranch. Hidden Valley of Moondale there. Big final boss is some kind of reaper or lich. I love that idea. Elf city with dwarven caverns and maybe hills and caverns. I guess I gotta write like mushroom down here. Mushroom. Somebody said quest board. That's a given. Potion shop. The Green Griffin. We can transplant the Green Griffin into our story and put it there. Main export is dressing, and this dressing probably ties in with the mushrooms, the mist. Where's the mist and the fog? So it has to tie in to all those things to kind of justify the dressing, the Hidden Valley dressing, right? We have the mountain with dinos and yetis. Either we don't know what they're doing yet, if like the yetis are the main tribe or they're kind of a mixed faction, mixed tribe, cohabitating this mountain. We haven't named the mountain yet. We haven't figured out how they're going to be transporting the dressing, but one of the quests that people were thinking of that could be in the quest board is the trade gets disrupted somehow. We talked about the mist and the fog, and we came up with ideas about the cloud giant couple that are Mist Tenders. They're the Mist Tender Giants. We got to come up with a cool name. Mist Tenders is kind of hard to say because there's two T's at the end of, like there's a T at the end and a T at the beginning. So we can come up with a cool name. But yeah, I like that. Let me catch up on chat real quick. Let me not get out of focus. Lich Tenders. Mistgrove Tender Giants. Mistgrove Tenders. One or more have been stolen over time. All right. I'm gonna stop taking ideas right now. Keep your ideas for next week. I think we did enough for this week because next week we got to come up with start fleshing out a little bit more of the individual kind of areas and how they're going to be working together and kind of what they look like and some rough drawings and maps and kind of ideas. I do like mushroom fungal people with shroomies. That's a good idea. Hey, who's on? Is there anybody on right now, like streaming wise? Who we can raid? Anybody? Is anybody on, Justin? Or chat?
I am looking. Yeah, who do you guys want to raid? Let's see.
The mushrooms are addictive. No mushrooms today, Dr. Bob. Not today.
The misters.
The misters.
Let's see here.
Hey, Albeavison.
Hold on a second here, John.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks, Otis. I had a lot more fun than I thought I was going to be honest. But this whole 23 dungeon idea, I really think it's a good idea.
Oh, we have our Mike Disney.
Oh, Disney's on.
Yeah, let's raid Mike.
All right, we'll be raiding Mike.
He's good people.
Yeah. Hopefully he comes to ReaperCon this year. I know it's quite a bit of ways away, but it's not too far away. Blink and you'll miss it. So go say hi to Mike. We'll be back next week where we'll continue to develop our Dungeon 23. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, Dr. Bob. You can raid whenever. But Dr. Bob, are you in the store? I'll go see you.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Keep waving, John. We have 10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yes, delay.
It's a long time.
Delay.
So we have the Hidden Valley.
And we're gone.